to Veterans Corner, and it's an honor and a privilege to be a guest in your home today. Today, my friends, veterans are the reason we have freedom in America. Veterans Corner's mission is simple: make veterans first America. And of course, with your support, my friends, we can create meaningful changes in the lives of our veteran heroes by sharing vital information that they may not even be aware of. And of course, we recognize that lack of knowledge and access to trustworthy information can place everyone at a significant disadvantage. But for veterans, that gap is compounded by unique barriers and challenges, and that's on top of the everyday struggles that we all face. And of course, to bridge that gap, Veterans Corner conduct video interviews with national, state, local leaders, nonprofit organizations, agencies, and businesses. And of course, our goal is to uncover and deliver the resources, insights, and opportunities that empower veterans to thrive and not just survive. And of course, at Veterans Corner, creating change in veterans' lives strengthens the fabric of our community and make our state a better place for all. And of course, Veterans Corner invites all veterans, neighbors, and friends to partner with Veterans Corner by sharing and spreading the word. And together, we can ensure that those who sacrifice to protect our freedom receive the support, the dignity, and the recognition that they deserve. And now, let's begin our interview. Welcome to Veterans Corner. And it's an honor and a privilege to be a guest in your home today. And for our guest today, we have Miss Michelle Vaillant. She is the co-owner of Senior Helpers here in the Lafayette area. And she's here today to share with you information about what she does at Senior Helpers for the community and for the veterans as well.
Thank you for
coming on
having me.
board.
Appreciate you, Greg.
Yeah. Well, you tell me, what's going on with you? Tell me a little bit about yourself first.
Okay, I'd love to do that. First and foremost, child of God, Catholic raised and Catholic school for 12 years. I am a proud mother of 5 and a wife to my husband Mark for 36 years.
Hey.
3 daughter-in-laws and our first grandchild on the way in about a month. So we're very excited. So that's what's going on personally.
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I started a whole new career about 3 years ago when the majority of my friends are either retiring or kind of slowing down. My job, my career just sped up. And it's been an incredible challenge. I like to call myself the accidental CEO because it wasn't planned.
Okay.
But what we do is in-home non-medical care.
Okay.
So this means that we help support people in their home for as long as it's safe and as long as they can either afford it or have the resources to support it.
Okay.
And we can do anything from companionship and, going to lunch or, playing games or visiting with friends, going to the casino, something, as just almost like being a friend.
Okay.
Companionship all the way through assisting someone who might be living out most of their day in bed. The term you might hear sometimes is bedbound.
Yeah.
Yes.
As far as getting involved with Senior Helpers, what's the process?
Very simple process. You do not need a doctor's order. You have a need. Again, it might be as simple as I'm an 85-year-old widow and I just cannot remember that I need to take my medication 3 times a day. And so I need some assistance. So although we cannot physically administer the medication, we can provide reminders. And also the things that support that, like nutrition and hydration. We can come in and help a person, support them like taking a shower. And then maybe preparing a meal and then reminding them it's time to take your morning medication. And then, we can break up time or we can stay as much as 24 hours a day.
You can?
So we can, yes, sir.
Goodness.
We can. We don't call it live-in because it takes probably about 5 caregivers so that we have full support. It's 168 hours in a week. And so, we try not to work them more than 12 hours. So it might take about 5 people, but we have a couple of 24-hour clients, and we stay with them around the clock because of the need, and because it's important that people stay home if they want to stay home.
Yes, yes. Well, tell me, in working with the client, I'm sure you got to find people to work with them that can be compatible to them.
Yes, sir.
Because not everybody can gel together.
Correct.
Okay.
And the difference between in-home care and, let's say, someone who lives in a nursing home or an assisted living, this is your private space that you have created for yourself and your family, sometimes over a period of 60 or more years. I'm surrounded by all the things I love, all the memories I've made with my family and my friends, the children I birthed and raised here. And that's very powerful to people. And that's why I talked about, if you want to stay home, and many, I would say close to 100% of people want to stay home and age in their home. And so we will get a call either from the client themselves or a family member, and they're looking for assistance and they don't really know where to start. And so they start with us. We take the phone call. I get a little bit of information so that we know what to expect. We set up a no obligation in-home visit so we can see their surroundings, their environment, what challenges might be, some risks, a lot of loose carpets or wobbly railings or poor lighting even. And we can identify those problems and say, hey, we need to remove these and improve this space so that you stay here as long as you possibly can with our support.
This is more like a full service.
It is basically, people I think are surprised at all of the things that we are able to service them with. And I'm talking about transportation to and from doctor's appointments, even the grocery store. And we do meal prep, and we prepare them so that they're successful. Let's say we go, our last shift's Friday, we don't go back till Monday. We want to make sure that they're eating and drinking over the weekend. We might prepare some meals that are put in the refrigerator, a pitcher of water so they stay hydrated, make sure their cell phone's charged and they have their batteries in their remote, and the dog has been walked. We do that sometimes as well. Light housekeeping, laundry, assistance with bathing or showering, grooming, incontinent care. We do a number of things.
Yeah, that's
and
fantastic.
yes, it is.
What is the, I guess, age requirement, or what age do you accept? What's the minimum age that
there's actually no age requirement?
There's no age requirement.
We don't typically get a call about a child, and because that's not our target, I would definitely refer them on, because there's so many other services that are so much better equipped to deal with that than we are. We are primarily helping manage a senior population, but we've had clients as young as in their 30s because of life circumstances. When the family or the client themselves want to stay home, and that's our end goal. That's the reason the company that I work for, I am a co-owner. I work for Elder Outreach. We have nursing homes and assisted livings, and I know, as I stated earlier, the majority of people want to stay home, and with surrounded by the safety and comfort of their own things and their own their loved ones and memories and such. And so we do everything in our power to do this, and we focus on the senior population because it's the majority of my clientele is seniors. Yes.
The reason why I'm asking that, because I know some young individuals who their family needs to work.
Yes.
And they need to stay home.
Yes.
And if someone is in their 30s, is in a situation where they cannot really work anymore, but they do need assistance.
Correct.
But they have to have income coming in.
Yes, sir.
And the spouse, whichever one
has to work.
Now, when it comes down to the financial part, do you not only do they provide financial assistance, but do they have organizations out there that will help subsidize part of their income to pay for you, or how? How does
So
this work? Say
there,
like with a veteran, for instance.
correct,
Okay.
correct. So with our particular agency, we are not under CMS, which means we don't bill Medicare or Medicaid directly.
Okay.
However, we do work with some partners who do, like PACE and then the VA as well. You know, there's a federal program, and if a veteran is already in the system, it's a pretty easy process to call their social worker and let them know they need some assistance to be able to stay home. So, and the VA, this is wonderful for veterans, and my dad was a veteran, to be able to receive these services at no cost to them. And
Yeah.
we probably see between 11 hours and 58 hours being provided to veterans.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, who are eligible through the VA.
Do you find that working with the VA is somewhat, well, I'm not going to say tedious, but there is some difficult because once you're in the system, the VA provides beautifully.
They do.
But the process of approving something,
yes,
it may take some time.
Yes, so I went through that personally with my mother, who was attempting to get into the system after my father died, and he was in the system, and that was a little bit of a struggle. But on our end, we actually hear directly from the VA with a referral on a veteran.
Okay.
So a lot of veterans are saying, "I need help," and they're going to their social worker, and there's a discussion about what kind of help. You need inpatient help, as in a nursing home, and we have some beautiful, options for that I can recommend and refer them to. Or do you want to stay home? And like you might guess, most veterans want to stay home, whether or not they have help at home. You know, I'll find we have actually a number of veterans who live completely alone, and we are one of the few resources available to them. You know, not a lot of family, so we do end up considering ourselves family and getting really close to our veterans.
Yeah. What area do you service? How far are you willing to go out?
Pretty much all of Acadiana, all of the 9 parishes.
Say, 9 parishes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's if we don't have a caregiver in that area, what we end up doing, we work with our marketing department and we recruit in that area, and we can get someone, within a week or two generally. And we try to have several, but then our caregivers will drive. I have one driving right now an hour, but the majority like to stay within a half hour of home if they can. But they will drive 45 minutes occasionally. And gosh, when you have a match, you discussed that earlier. When you have a match, it's a beautiful thing. And sometimes metrics and data will say these people match and they don't.
Right. That's very important.
It's a nuance. It's just magical. And if it works and it's beautiful. So let's say we have a caregiver who's got a client a half a mile away. Okay. Really easy. They could walk. And then we have an opening and they have a free Saturday and they agree, yeah, sure, I'll go. Gosh, it's 45 minutes away. I'm going to do this just once. But they go and they click.
Yes.
I've seen many times where that's all it took. And it's a dynamic that you really can't force. And so if that happens, people are willing to make those extra sacrifices to work with a client they feel gets them, they get the client. They're feeling, gosh, I'm really making a difference. And this is for our veterans, but also for our other clients as well.
Well, do you find that senior citizens, I guess you could say senior citizens starting at 60 nowadays, I guess you could say.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
All the discounts, and I get offended until I see what the discount is.
Yes. The thing is, though, is that in dealing with the individual, do you find that a lot of senior citizens in today's culture feels left out and being involved with life?
Yes, sir.
So at some point in time, I'm assuming that when you have a representative of your company that clicks with the client, that client really needs just someone to be there to talk with, to enjoy life with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You find that most senior citizens would like to get somebody. Well, really like to get somebody with our own race so we can.
Correct. Same, maybe
we can identify
similar generations. And bring up a couple of good points. I've actually just partnered with the Acadiana Veterans Alliance, and I've also had a pretty good relationship with the local veterans workforce. And my goal is to get more veterans who are either retired or can't work in other capacities to consider caregiving, because a lot of times it's care partnering. It's
Right.
not necessarily giving, because some veterans, again, just need that little bit of help. They maybe can't drive, they can't grocery shop, maybe they can't prepare meals for whatever reason. And they just need that little bit of assistance. This is something that can be trained. So we can train these caregivers and skill them up to be able to do these sort of things for our veterans. And I'm like you, I imagine this just symbiotic relationship where I'm a veteran, you're a veteran, and it doesn't have to be a male necessarily,
No.
but just that, I just feel like I know when my dad got together with his veteran friends, there was no stopping them. Look, he used to go to the Iwo Jima reunion, and he was only a baby when Iwo Jima happened. But
Right.
I mean, that was like one of the joys of his life, to be around people, that had similar stories, experiences, beliefs, faith, some of those things. So when we can connect, a veteran with a veteran, that's ideal. Until then, what we do is we connect just like-minded, good-hearted people. We're always looking for that. You can train on the skills and the transfers and on cooking techniques, but you can't train on a heart and a character and integrity. And so that's what we look for in our caregivers. And we again just try to skill them up so that they can understand where to meet the client wherever they are, whether it is a veteran who has a war experience, or who, as you said, and it's actually a very serious problem: isolation, feeling abandoned, withdrawn, maybe some depression. We see that a lot. And so those relationships really matter. That might be the only touch point that they have with a human being. Maybe some days go by, and that's it, that relationship with our caregiver.
Well, I'll tell you what, I just had an interview with two veteran female veterans. And they, in the conversation, in the interview, they brought up issues. And the biggest issue that they had, being a veteran, a female veteran, is that being in the military, they look upon the female veteran not as a veteran, but just as a female.
Right.
And then when they left the service, and when people find out that they are veterans, then people stand back. And for some reason, it just presents a wall. So they get issues in the military, out of the military for a female veteran. And they said the biggest issues a lot of times is getting a female doctor as their primary care, because the male doctor cannot identify with the female
experience, being a soldier, a veteran.
So the thing is this, is that how many, well, I'm just saying how many, just say, I'm sure you must have some female veterans.
Caregivers or clients?
Clients.
I do.
Okay.
And it's incredible.
Do you put
It's
female
incredible.
for female? You don't put no male with no female.
It's up to the client. It's preference. Really? We have some male clients who won't work with a male. They only want a female. And we do have some females who say, I only want a female. It depends on the need. We generally do female with female for our female clients. But if they're like no preference and the family is good with that, I think it depends on the level of need again. Those more intimate care tasks that we do, we feel more comfortable with a female, on a female. And that's actually a personal thing for me as well. I see a female doctor, I'm more comfortable. Nothing against male doctors, I love them. And I have 4 boys, so I love men. But it's actually a preference. And so that's one of the questions that we ask during an assessment. What's your preference?
Okay.
What's your ideal situation and scenario? What's that companionship look like?
Okay.
And how does it feel? How do you want to feel? And we're actually going right now through a process that's called age-friendly care. And we're looking at a couple of different things, but one of the most important that we're the most proud of, it's a CHOP certification, is what matters most to you.
Okay.
It's not just put out my trash, walk my dog, remind me about my medication and to eat and drink, 3 or 4 glasses of water a day. That is important. But
Yes.
what matters most to me is that I'm a very prideful person, and I want to go get my own mail. I want to walk outside my door. I want to walk down my steps and get my mail. And then I'm going to go visit with my neighbor because we have coffee every afternoon.
Okay.
And so, how do we help them continue to accomplish that? We probably need to start some exercises in the home every day, do some stretching, and maybe walk out every day. Let's walk a little further so
Right.
that you can continue to do what matters most to you. Because again, that is going to be individual.
Yes.
People have bucket lists that are, I want to go to
The
Europe
bucket
and
list. Yes.
yeah, and spend 6 months on a cruise ship. And other people, and this is a very real example of what I'm going to say. I have not laid down in the grass and felt grass under me in years. It may be as simple as that. And so, what matters most? And so, we are so proud that we are bringing this into the mix. We always did, but we're actually documenting it, revisiting it,
Okay.
and making sure we're accomplishing it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'm gonna wrap this up a little bit. I'm sorry to say that. Can you just summarize maybe what Senior Helpers is? I know you already said a lot, but just kind of summarize.
Yes. I believe that Senior Helpers is the key to continuing to have a voice as we age. Um, we all envision what it's going to be like as we go into, these, I'm not going to say last years
Right.
because people live, to different ages, but as we retire and
Hmm.
we're looking at getting older, we all have an idea of what that might look like.
Right.
And what Senior Helpers does allow is for you to get closer to that dream, to be able to accomplish again whatever matters
Right.
most.
Right.
And
Right.
if it's just I want to keep my vehicle and I want my care, we can actually drive their vehicle. Have my caregiver drive me around. I still want to go to my Rotary meetings or the
Yes.
American Legion. I still want to go have coffee every morning at McDonald's with my
Well,
friends. You stay in the car
yes.
and wait for me.
Well, I thank you. But
It's
thank you
those
for everything. Yeah, I
things.
know what you're saying. Thank you. I'm sorry for we have to end this today. All I can say is thank you for coming on board.
Thank you, Greg. I
And
appreciate you.
all I can say is God bless the United States.
Yes. Amen.